So I'm Professor Shankar Ganesan and chair of the marketing department. So let me start by welcoming you to the information session on the digital marketing minor. We are really delighted that you are considering digital marketing minor. And at least in my view, it is probably the most interesting, fun, dynamic, and creative and analytical minor in the whole of Notre Dame. And notice that I use two words, creative and analytical. And you may wonder, how can a minor be creative and analytical at the same time? So it turns out that we have huge advances in data modeling, even things like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all these advances are leading to new ways of measuring the returns of digital marketing investments. And at the same time, they're also giving us a lot of clues as to what consumers do. When do they go to different websites? What do they click? What is the level of engagement of the consumers with a digital ad? So even as the digital marketing is incorporating these latest technologies and measurement approaches, I have to say that there is a creative element, and that is the importance of telling an interesting story, and that has not diminished. So at the core, marketers are basically great storytellers, and that's why creativity is also in great demand. But what distinguishes digital marketing from everything else is the fact that it allows you to personalize the story at the level of each consumer. And that is why McKinsey, one of the top consulting firms in the world, calls it the golden age of marketing. So in addition, I think here are a few reasons why you should consider digital marketing. I believe it is one of the top 3 minors at Notre Dame in terms of student enrollment. We are almost reaching close to 200 students in the digital marketing program. And more importantly, the digital marketing program is probably one of the best in the nation. And I would say it is maybe in the top 2 in the entire United States. Then there is the fact there's a huge demand for students with digital marketing expertise. And the growth rate of digital marketing jobs is likely to be greater than 10% in the next several years. So all in all, it is just the right major for the current environment and the current marketplace. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Professor Tim Bowling, who's leading our efforts in digital marketing, to take over and discuss digital marketing and the core courses. And then after Tim, I will ask Joe to spend a little bit of time talking about the application process. So with that, Tim, the Zoom is all yours.
Great, thank you so much for that nice introduction, Shankar. It's great to see several members from multiple colleges here with us today. The digital marketing opportunity here of combining art and science is certainly an exciting space. If you could please advance the slides. I'm unable to, Joe, from my screen, okay. Please, that'd be helpful. We'll get into the specifics here in regard to what the the digital marketing minor represents here. As we begin thinking about career placement, I know that's something near and dear, front of mind with each of you here with us today. I'm very pleased to say our students, our graduates are placed at some of the most engaging, most exciting organizations, whether it's business to consumer, business to business, or from an agency world perspective. Just to list a few here, you'll see here IBM, Google, Leo Burnett, Ogilvy, Nielsen, BBDO, Amazon, 8451, etc. Some very leading edge organizations within the digital marketing and marketing overall industry, representing the best brands there are. And as we look at the types of opportunities here, really, the synergistic play, as Shankar opened this up with the art and science, it is just a tremendous opportunity to bring together the diversity of thought and mind from so many different disciplines here. And as we look at from our major areas of study, it's across the university. Each college is represented here. And in the classroom, it's a tremendous opportunity where we've got those who are majoring in economics, ACMS, FTT, sociology, psychology, theology, and, right? Just a great opportunity to augment your major area of study with a minor in a growing field that is very appropriate for your ages as well, given you being digital natives. Organizations look to you and your colleagues from an age group perspective to really set the pace for their digital marketing strategies going forward. As we look at the potential job opportunities here to put in place digital marketing strategies that will drive organizations' growth and greatness, the job opportunities are varied from those that are more analytically oriented, a digital marketing analyst, for example, those who like to be storytellers, again, as Shankar mentioned earlier, a content marketing specialist or communication specialist. Those that are more technology oriented, we've got the technology specialists, those who are focused on the user experience, whether it's online from a tablet, a laptop, or a mobile device, this UX design specialist. Just a great set of opportunities for not just entry-level jobs, but frankly going forward as well, all the way up to the chief digital officer who is part of the C-suite within many organizations. What is driving this large increase in interest of firms? It goes back to buyer behavior. Even before the pandemic here, how we live, work, interact, and buy continues to fundamentally change. Customers' expectations are requiring enterprises to really rethink their customer engagement approach. Since the pandemic, the acceleration of digital is exponentially higher. It was already growing very fast before the pandemic, but think about the last 10 months and perhaps the next 10 years, how things are going to continue to evolve to play towards that digital strength. Individuals are looking for instant access, to be treated as individuals, that personalization point on their own terms, anytime, anywhere. The importance of transparency and trusted, mutually beneficial relationships, seamless experiences. Given these very strong market forces, organizations need to realize this, and they're investing heavily in their skill and talent from a digital marketing perspective, all while privacy concerns continue to rise. As I share in my classes today, we're better than Notre Dame to talk about value-based, ethical-based usages of digital marketing to grow the good in business and growth and greatness of organizations. Engaging brands communicate a compelling and differentiated brand narrative that makes a case for why. If you would pause for just a moment and think about those brands that you want to be part of, those brands that you continually engage with, those apps that you download and use and use and use, as opposed to download in one time, right? Those websites that you engage in over and over and over, right? These organizations are communicating a compelling and meaningfully different narrative that makes the case for why. And how do they do that? By applying the art and science of demand management to deeply understand individuals and deliver those personalized communications. Those best-in-class brands are engaging customers with digital-first orientation, this best-in-class digital experience, and an integrated data-driven operating model. Data is the heartbeat of so many things these days, and the transformation of digital is very much from a data orientation also. The power of data, the responsibility to help understand stakeholders and then personalize the communication. So with that is, where our students are flourishing from a career perspective, those market forces that are driving organizations to rethink and reimagine their customer engagement strategies, investing substantial dollars. The dollars from a marketing and a company perspective are flowing into digital marketing. And we, from a curriculum standpoint, let's spend just a few moments on, how we've designed what is really a digital marketing curriculum like no other. We discussed the essential digital marketing plays within higher performance organization, this essential role, right? How marketing's timeless responsibilities are being augmented by new imperatives that are all digital, by the way. We talk about digital marketing frameworks that enable firms to effectively engage with their customers and prospects across their buyer journey. We examine digital marketing practices to build social media eminence and successfully promote brands, products, and services. And of course, importantly, analyze frameworks that enable firms to deploy a digital-first marketing strategy and a measurement system to understand what's working and not working, the efficacy of our investments, and importantly, applied said learnings to respond and sense and respond and sense and respond. In other words, optimize based on in-market performances. And then we also offer a couple of industry certifications within the digital marketing curriculum. Hootsuite, social marketing, advanced social advertising are included in our curriculum, and students have an opportunity to earn both of those certifications. And certainly having this curriculum differentiates many students that at other schools don't have this deep digital knowledge, this applied experiential knowledge, not just the scholarly rigors, but the applied experiential opportunities as well. In my class, students use live data sets and run live campaigns and so forth. Let me pause now and show a video that we built here not long ago when we introduced the digital marketing minor.
Digital marketing, when done right, is a powerful and essential component of how firms and institutions engage with their customers to establish and deepen relationships. Firms and institutions engage with their customers to establish and deepen relationships. I'm excited to announce the introduction of a digital marketing minor for non-business students across campus here at Notre Dame.
Through many of the different classes and projects that I did during my marketing degree here at Notre Dame, there was a significant emphasis on understanding the customer and then also a understanding that customer trends are changing.
Digital marketing helps us to understand that social media is evolving. And so the digital marketing minor equips you with the necessary tools to compartmentalize the data, to sort it, and to arrange it in a way that you can understand your customer more effectively, and to narrow our target audience so that we're not spending in wasteful ways.
The value digital marketing has is very important because it allows you to understand how to grow a brand in channels that are completely taking over traditional media. It also just gives you the skills to even grow your personal brand or any business that you would want to start.
Learn from world-renowned faculty and gain a competitive advantage in one of the fastest growing job markets. Our digital marketing minor will complement your major and help you launch a career that is challenging, creative, and fun.
All right, with that said, what I'll do is I'll pass the virtual mic over to Professor Cherian to talk about the digital marketing curriculum.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tim. I just wanted to highlight in one of those slides, you might have seen IBM in the middle, right dead center and bigger than all the other logos. And that's because Professor Bowling came from IBM. He was a CMO at IBM. Now he's the CMO of the Mendoza College of Business. And since that wasn't enough to contain his energy, they made him the graduate enrollment officer as well, and then the teaching professor. So he does a whole lot of things while publishing in top journals. So we're very happy to have him. How many of you are juniors? Just show of hands. Okay, and the rest of you, I'm guessing sophomores, right? Okay. So partly I will talk directly to the juniors as we go along. The digital marketing minor requires 5 courses. The first one is Principles of Marketing, which you must take standalone, and it should be your first one. So if you're juniors, you need to sign up for it for spring. Then we have a choice between consumer behavior and marketing research, 2 courses. If you're a little more quantitatively inclined, maybe you go through the marketing research side. And if you're a little bit more qualitatively, psychology, philosophy kind of thing, you might be inclined to take consumer behavior. And then only then can you take the digital marketing minor courses. And the 3 are digital marketing, social media marketing, and managing mobile and online engagement. Tim will be back in a little bit to explain more details about that. So the way you plan your coursework out is this. If you're a junior, then in spring you would take the Principles of Marketing. Otherwise, you're not going to finish in time. You would take 2 in fall, consumer behavior and a digital marketing course, or marketing research and a digital marketing course, and then finish out in the last semester with 2 courses. The others can have a more leisurely stroll through digital marketing. For example, sophomores will have 5 semesters left, and you might take 1 every semester, or double up in some semester. I kind of suggest that if you can finish it a little bit sooner, then at the end of your junior year, before you start your senior year, you can take internship in digital marketing, and you won't be just a raw student who doesn't know much. You will have good knowledge of digital marketing before you get your internship. So the overall process is the following. By November 23rd, have your applications in. Have you guys applied already? Show of hands. Anyone not yet on the fence? Okay, if you're on the fence, you get to stay after the presentation till I totally convince you. We'll notify you by November 30th. It could be sooner, but definitely by November 30th. And December 2nd is when your registration starts, and you can register for Principles of Marketing. There's a little bit of a process there. So after you're notified, you go to e-forms and say you want to take digital marketing, then I have to okay it. Your advisor has to okay it. Deans have to okay it. So be mindful that there might be a 1 or 2 day process after you've been accepted. So again, like I mentioned, Principles of Marketing, you can't double up with any other course within the minor. In fall, you'll take either consumer behavior or marketing research, and you can take 1 digital marketing course then. And in next spring, the following spring, 22, the juniors can take the remaining digital marketing courses, and you will be ready to fly away into the digital marketing zone and be productive there. Okay, I'll give you a brief description of the courses because you're here more for the digital marketing courses. The first one is Principles of Marketing. just show of hands, or if you're not too shy, you can talk as well. Who here thinks marketing is important in the modern world? And why is that, Cameron?
I guess it's the way that companies, I guess, show the world what they have to sell.
Yeah.
So it's important in that field, I suppose.
That's one way to construe marketing, that it's a selling situation. Ashley, did you have something different?
Kind of same thing. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll give you a more brutal reading of it, and that is, if you have no consumers, the company cannot exist. And instead of company, I'll say organizations. So even nonprofit places like Notre Dame is a nonprofit place. If you guys weren't here and loyal alums weren't here, this place couldn't exist. We can't just build buildings if consumers are not coming. So in that sense, entire organizations, their existence depends on having a foundation in consumers liking them, loving them, needing the products that they provide. And that's the mindset you'll get from principles of marketing. At Mendoza, we've developed something called the Mendoza marketing model. You'll get a sense of it. So it's not just consumers. You have to worry about how competitors are trying to grab for the same consumers and so on. So that's much more of a, I mean, there are practical projects, but that's much more of a philosophical introduction to why marketing. And it's not just important because they do the advertising, but they understand the consumer. And that's what we do in consumer behavior. Why do you buy? Let me pick on someone else. Sophie, what's the last important thing you purchased? Let's say more than $100, besides textbooks, of course. If you're on the spot, you can say pass, that's okay. But surely you bought something in the last 6 months. That's more than $100.
Not over $100, I don't think so.
Okay, what's the one closest to 100? Okay, and that's okay. Jacqueline, do you have something?
Maybe like AirPods or something like that.
And why did you buy those AirPods? Was it more because everyone else had it, or because you read the reviews, or because you used it and thought it was the better headphones, if you will, than anything else? That's what we try to understand in consumer behavior, because we want to know why exactly you do what you do. And it's completely normal to find that many times consumers may not know exactly why they did what they did. So we have to understand them even better than they understand themselves. So there might be like a sociological perspective, a psychological perspective, and so on. If you don't like that approach, there's the marketing research approach. And maybe you guys have heard that there was an election last week and all the polls were wrong. And polling or surveying is one of the central functions of marketing research. And everyone is pulling their hair out trying to figure out why exactly did they get it so wrong, because none of them got it right within, let's say, 5% and so on. I'm not taking sides here. I'm just saying pollsters as an industry got a lot of what they were supposed to do. They got it wrong. And what we try to do in marketing research, I mean, the stakes may not be as high as politics, but the stakes may be like, can I sell you more soap? Can I sell you more shampoo? Can I sell you more causes? How do I get you to donate to the United Way or come volunteer at the shelter? All of these, I need to have good marketing research data in order to be able to get you in the door to do these good things, nonprofit, for-profit, all across the board. With that, I'll hand it back to Tim to talk to you about the courses you came to listen about.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much. In this digital marketing course, it's really the foundation for a couple of other courses that are a bit more narrow but go deeper. So from a digital marketing standpoint, we really look at those key driving forces that enable firms to establish and strengthen customer relationships, introducing those frameworks that organizations use, those best-in-class organizations use when done right to deeply understand and engage their customers across their buyer journey. We review and importantly apply. The approach that I take with this digital marketing course is very much a balance between scholarly rigor. So students will absolutely understand those key concepts, frameworks from a scholarly rigor standpoint, and importantly, balance that with practitioner relevance, right? How firms are deploying best-in-class efforts to build social media eminence, effectively engage customers and prospects, and promote brands, products, and services, employing data-driven tools and techniques as well, that the students will work with a live data set and a dashboard to understand the efficacy of marketing investments, what channels are working better than others. So, is it more appropriate to invest in Instagram versus Facebook versus TikTok, LinkedIn, et cetera? What's working and not working for different parts of the population. And again, this notion of an integrated strategy and measurement system to enable organizations to sense and respond. Again, that optimization point. The students build a digital plan that really sets the tone for how organizations can really elevate their customer engagement efforts. In this class, there's 2 Hootsuite certifications. The advanced social advertising and also social marketing. So some industry certifications there as well. In addition to the digital marketing course, we have a course called social media marketing, which is a great course that really looks at the social media aspects of digital marketing, right? Digital marketing is much more than social media, but certainly social media is a very important component here. The increased popularity of Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, et cetera, the proliferation of customer and company blogs, the influencers and so forth, very instrumental to the curriculum here, examining the dynamic strategies and tactics that leading organizations are using to shift from more traditional marketing strategies to, again, move into the social media side of the house, credible reference stories, context, and so forth. A very, very interesting class. And then in addition to the social media marketing is a course that includes looking at things from an online and a mobile perspective. We certainly continue to see the importance of the mobile device here in our lives. So, this class looks at from an online and mobile perspective, examining those strategic components of that multi-channel, we call it omni-channel customer engagement approach, examining customer acquisition, retention, and expansion strategies using this online and mobile methodologies. Students will work on hands-on projects here as well, developing an integrated marketing presence for firms within targeted and dynamic content to maximize customer engagement. Those are the 3 key digital marketing courses that augment, that really build on those foundational course learnings that Professor Cherian showed earlier, the consumer behavior, market research, and of course, principles of marketing.